Hey, I'm Andy Aledort, and this edition of In Deep is called Mode Swings. And in this lesson, we're going to be going over ways to incorporate a modal approach for soloing and improvisation, and I'll be showing you how to utilize the Dorian mode. Here we go. The Dorian mode is one of the fundamental modes, the 7 fundamental modes that are based on the series of half steps and whole steps that make up the major scale. And Dorian is the second mode. So if you were to start from the second scale degree of a major scale and play up to the 9th, that series of half and whole steps make up the Dorian mode. I'm going to demonstrate it on the guitar in a minute, but the first thing I'm going to do is lay down a rhythm part, and it's just going to be static, a part that's over E7, and you could play minor or major over this kind of a groove. It's just a standard funky groove that just sits on E. I'm going to set up that rhythm part, and then we're going to play our examples over that part. All right, this rhythm part is based around an E7 chord, but I'm purposely leaving out the third so you could play minor and major thirds over it when you solo. So you have an E root note, D, which is the dominant 7th, and G, which is the sharp 9. It also could be thought of as the minor third, but a very typical chord, E7 sharp 9. The Purple Haze Jimi Hendrix chord has a major third in it. So that's how we start. Slide into it from 1 fret below, and then I did a hammer from the 6th. And then, so that's just a little change in sound just to the 4 for a second. And then I end with this. So it's another way to reference the 4. Just to have something more interesting to solo over harmonically. And you have the flat 7 and the 4th against each other there, the A note. So many people, when soloing over a part like that, would use E minor pentatonic. That'd be a very common scale to use. So let's start by talking about that, and then we're going to move from there into a modal approach. So I'd like to show you E minor pentatonic in an extended position, going up the fretboard. All right, so I'm using mostly 16th notes here, which is 4 notes per beat, but I mix it with 8 notes, and I begin. So part of the idea with the lick is to move up through the scale quickly. And I'm using hammers and slides. Slide. And then. So. So the mode we're examining today is Dorian. It's a minor mode. As I said, it's the second mode. And the reason I started with minor pentatonic is Dorian is exactly the same as minor pentatonic. Pentatonic is a 5-tone scale, and all the fundamental modes are 7-tone scales. So Dorian just adds 2 scale degrees to minor pentatonic. So let me show you the E Dorian mode right now, and we'll compare it to E minor pentatonic. So in minor pentatonic, you start with the root note and you go right to the minor third, 4th, and the 5th. In Dorian, we're going to insert this major second, which is F sharp. So all we did was add the second. Instead of going 1, flat 3, we go 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5. And then in minor pentatonic, you go from the 5 to the flat 7. In Dorian, the second scale degree that we add, because the first one was the second or F sharp in the key of E, we add the sixth C sharp in the key of E. So what we did is we took E, G, A, B, D, and we added F sharp and C sharp, the second and the sixth. So now E Dorian is E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And that's repeated. So be aware of the spots on the fretboard where we're adding F sharp here, and C sharp here, F sharp here, and C sharp here. So one more time, up and down. In this example, I took all the notes of the Dorian mode, but I play them in straight 16th notes. And as you could see, I use some slides. To connect scale positions. And then on the way down, I use some pull-offs and slides. So you should practice this, even little parts of it, to get comfortable moving from one scale position to the next.